Hello, everyone. This is my roommate Grace Myers, and this is me, Cheyenne Ace Strike. We are doing a video together, and it is going to be about horror,
History.
and gore,
Statistics.
and blood,
Facts.
penetration.
No,
I'm into horror,
I'm into history.
and together we are going to tell you how your most favorite horror films have been shaped by history.
The political climate of the 1930s was not very good. In 1929, the stock market crashed, ruining a lot of people's money. Many farmers in the Midwest suffered due to the Dust Bowl, which ruined a lot of crops and made a lot of people starve. Additionally, there was a power struggle going on between the movie industry and the radio industry. Overall, I would say that horror during World War II is a form of escapism.
So if we take a look at the most popular horror films of that time era, we get Dracula, Frankenstein, King Kong. They're brimming with
Germany,
adventure,
Europe.
far-off exotic lands and adventures, and things that just wouldn't happen in real life. There was also a really unpopular horror film of that time era called Freaks, and it featured real live freaks. And people didn't like that because it hit too close to home. They were like,
There
I'm
wasn't enough
spooked.
cognitive dissonance.
They were like, I relate to this too much. This could be me.
This is not horror as escapism.
This is Freaks.
This is horror as real life freaks.
So the reason why these movies set in far-off lands about spooky things were so popular was because the people in this time period were dealing with no food, no homes. They were sick all the time. There was no water. They were probably sleepy because they were stressed. So they want things that they don't relate to at all. You can't relate to a giant monkey scaling a building. You can't relate to a man in a cape.
You can't relate to a man in a cape.
So that was the 30s and 40s. We should begin to talk about the 50s and 60s. And do you want to know what the theme of the 50s and 60s are? Spooky Space
Communism.
Invaders communism is what I was going to say.
Communism.
Communism.
The end of World War II brought about the baby boom. It was a good time to have lots of children, so lots of people did, and this brought about a new age of consumerism. Lots of people got televisions in their home, which is a very influential thing, especially with the introduction of sci-fi into the home. Programs like Star Trek brought about a forum to discuss real-life social issues in a fantastical plane where you could do that without being too forward. Additionally, the creation of the nuclear family ideal and squares became a big thing. If you were not living in the square, aka the ideal of the nuclear family, you were othered as fuck. Additionally, mounting tensions with the Soviet Union led to the Cold War.
So, because everyone was so afraid of atomic bombs because of the Russians and communism, science fiction happened. And what do you get with science fiction?
Communism.
McCarthyism played a big role in helping these science fiction movies come about.
McCarthyism was a widespread fad in the 1960s. Well, not fad, I wouldn't say fad, but it was a unfortunate movement where McCarthy accused so many people of being communists. Fortunately, George McCarthy stopped being credible when he sued the entire United States Army for being communists, but they were not communists. Vietnam was especially interesting because the TV brought the war into American homes. Since the war in Vietnam was a unwinnable war, the progress of American victory was recorded through the use of the body count. The body count is basically the ratio of Vietnamese to American soldiers that were killed in combat, and that's how you would know if you were winning the war. It's very easy to draw parallels between this real factor of American life and how Americans were finally preferring bloody stuff, very gory movies, to non-gory, psychological movies.
You want to know what happens when you have sex? die. This is
The 80s!
and the 90s. Bum, bum, bum. America was so conservative because of Clinton's impeachment
and Bush's election.
Everything was so conservative.
So
And it
conservative.
reflected in horror movies. If you had sex,
Fucked.
you died.
You die.
What movies does that showcase in? I don't know.
All of them.
All of them. Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Halloween.
Jason goes to hell. And Freddy.
Freddy goes to Jason.
Freddy goes to Jason.
All of these girls in these movies,
Halloween.
they have sex.
They die.
They die. This was a really big trend in horror movies.
Right.
They were trying to convey to the young Americans, don't have sex, you will die, because they were so conservative. Post 9/11, all of these bombings were happening, all of these shootings were happening, the world was exploding and a bunch of violence. So you've got like the human centipede, where you have people literally shitting in each other's mouths. You've got like real gore and goop and intestines coming out of people. And also sex. There's so much sex. It's so erotic. So we hope we have convinced you that horror and history go hand in hand when dealing with each other. They influence each other. They reflect off of each other. Conservatism, the wars, all the scary things in the world relate to the scary things that you're watching. This has been Grace, your local historian. And it's me, Cheyenne, the ghoul. Hoping that you have a very spooky summer.